The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros wasn't a sleeper. It was a pretty interesting fight between Katie Taylor and Chantelle Cameron, and Katie Taylor got revenge and pulled off the decision. I think it was a majority decision because one judge had it a draw. So I'm turning over to you, Trill Dollar Bill. What was your reaction to the fight?
That's right. Shout out to Wifey. KT did it. You know what I'm saying? This is what I wrote after I seen the fight. I was a little excited, and I wanted to make sure that I got it right. The raw emotion. Tough fight with a lot of head clashes. Great fight, though, between two warriors. I thought the distance, power, and age from Cameron would be a factor, but no. The greatness and work rate of Katie Taylor shined through and wouldn't be denied. She waited for 6 months to avenge her only loss. A lot of people counted her out and said she was too old, but she showed she isn't finished just yet. This was an incredibly high energy 10-round fight from beginning to end. Katie Taylor is not just a great women's boxer, she is a great fighter, period. And the new undisputed super lightweight champion. Katie, two-time undisputed champion. Let's go.
All right. Anything else you'd like to add, my brother?
Yeah, can't wait to see part 3, and we're going to do that in Ireland. It's going to be big. It's going to be big.
All right, G.
I kind of agree with Trill, but part 3 don't need to be in no Ireland. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest, man. I felt like Cameron got robbed. You know, maybe rob's too strong of a word, but from the headbutt, which I thought was extreme. It was like off the rope headbutt. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, come on, man. Referee didn't say nothing to Katie about that. That was crazy. To like Katie pulled the old school Klitschko. Yo, 1-2, bear hug. It wasn't even a regular hug. It was like, yo, get over here because I don't want to fight no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like, what's she doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, so what I actually had it a draw. So I had it 95-95. I gave Cameron round 1. I gave Taylor 2, 3, 4, and 5. But I think there was like 2 rounds in there where I was like, oh, it's real close. But I felt like Katie's work was more effective than Cameron's work. But then when the 6th round came, I the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, I gave all to Cameron, and I felt like her body work was superior. And there was even times where she landed she landed 2 uppercuts that really hurted Katie. You know what I mean? But hey, it is what it is. It didn't drop her, but it still was effective. There was one like she landed an uppercut at the end of a round. I forgot which round it was. And Katie looked like she froze for a second. Then the bell rang, and I was like, oh, man, I don't know. Katie might get out of here the next one. But in the 9th round, Katie came back, and I was like, all right, this is getting crazy, you know? So then now, my last round, I had to watch that last round twice because I was like, how do you score this? You know, like both ladies were giving their all. And every time one person would hit the other one, the other person would hit the other one the same, like right after. So it was like, how do I score this, man? It was kind of like too chaotic. You know, it was good, but it was just too much. So then I was like, you know what, maybe I should just make that a 10-10 round. But I didn't. In my scorecard, I actually just did a regular 10-9. And so I have it 95-95. But if I gave it a 10-10 round, technically, I would have Katie would have won by 1 point. It would have been my score would have been 95-96 for Katie Taylor. You know, so that's why I'm like, yo, I feel like I'm contradicting myself. But the reason why is because when I look at that last round, and a lot of the rounds actually where Katie just looked exhausted, and it didn't matter. Katie could sneeze at Cameron, and the crowd is going outrageous. The commentators only highlighted, Katie's performance. Pretty much, they just kind of ignored Cameron's performance. It was just so much. It's like the whole thing was like stacked against Chantelle. So I think they should run it back. This definitely earned a three-peat. And if they don't allow it, I don't know. I think there's a problem with that. But I'm not really wowed by Katie Taylor's performance, even though obviously this strategy was way better than the first attempt. In this one, she made it real difficult for Cameron to just come in after the jab. In the first fight, it seemed like Cameron wasn't messing with her straight punches. Now, when she was trying to do it, Katie was responding immediately with counters. But once Cameron got like close and was doing like the dirty work to the body and everything, that's where you start seeing, Katie's not really to me like that solid as I thought. You know what I mean? And then Katie was desperate with the hugs, bro. And I'm being honest, I understand certain refs allow it, but you will at least hear a referee give you a warning or something. That referee was about that action, bro. Like, that ref was slimy, man, to me, in my honest opinion. My man was letting the headbutts go. He was letting the hugs. I'm like, is this boxing or is this an adult film? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was too much, son. It was too much. You know what I mean? Like, so I definitely say, so listen, I had it a draw, but, I know I'm contradicting myself, but technically my scorecard should really say that Katie Taylor won by 1 point. But even still, I still think Katie should run it back. Allow this to be a three-peat because Cameron and Katie Taylor, it's not like Katie Taylor wowed the world. Like, she was just far superior. It's just, you got lucky enough to pull it off. It's one of those type of fights.
All right, another TBE.
Yo, and hold on, I'd like to say, in Ireland, don't kill me, man. I know the Ukrainians already got beef
Ireland, handle y'all business, Ireland.
Yo, G, dog, you in trouble, dog. You got the Cape Verdeans, and now you gonna have the Irish on you, dog.
Yeah, G, who you gonna offend next? That's what I'm talking about.
The Ukrainians are already after you, G.
They already got a no-fly zone over there.
I don't know. You in trouble, G.
Double. But I like to say this. I used to look at Katie as a perfectionist, but as a human being, perfection doesn't exist unless you face adversity. And when you lose, you always have to know how to come back. But in all said, I did not see this fight, so I can't really comment on this fight.
Ned said the best thing he said on Boxing Bros about a fight he didn't watch. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you should stop watching boxing. I think it's the sign. So
funny thing is because I called G yesterday. It was like, yo, we didn't make the predictions for this fight, and I didn't watch the fight. That's the funniest part.
So, look, I understand if people felt like the commentary was biased. I do feel like they made it a point to highlight all of Katie Taylor's work, and rarely did they highlight Chantelle Cameron's work. The crowd as well. The crowd reacted every time Katie threw anything in the vicinity of Chantelle Cameron, and even if Katie Taylor would flurry and miss the entire flurry, they still went crazy. Just off the fact that she was being active and her hands were fast. However, it doesn't negate the fact that I believe Katie Taylor won the fight. I scored the fight 96-94. I thought Chantelle Cameron won the first round. I know that. And it seemed like it was going to be more of the same, basically, because Chantelle Cameron had landed the punch and Katie went down. And I know there's an issue with tangled feet, but it just seemed like, okay, Chantelle Cameron's going to overpower Katie Taylor at some point. But Katie stuck with it, and Katie was fighting, man. I mean, for all it's worth, Katie is a slick boxer, technician, skilled, wins on the back foot, but she was going forward and she was mixing it up. And I saw Cameron would land a big shot and Katie would answer. And Katie was also landing big shots without Chantelle Cameron answering. Now, that's how Katie won on my scorecard. Now, I will watch rounds. If you ask me who had more power, Chantelle Cameron had more power. If you ask me who did the most damage when they landed clean, Chantelle Cameron did. It doesn't negate the fact that Katie Taylor landed clean more often and landed great punches of her own. And I think that's what won Katie Taylor the fight. In the end, she landed the more clean, effective punches. They weren't as hard as Chantelle Cameron's, but Chantelle Cameron didn't land enough. She wasn't active enough. You know, there were rounds, because it's women's boxing, 2-minute rounds. There were a few rounds where I would think, okay, it's even at this moment, and then Taylor wouldn't really do much, and Katie would throw a flurry and land a clean shot at the end of it. Katie landed hooks. Katie was on point. And I want to say this. To me, there are two forms of greatness. There's the Floyd Mayweather greatness, where you perform flawless, damn near flawless, and you perform and you show excellence every time out. Then there's the Manny Pacquiao, Muhammad Ali display of greatness and excellence, where
shows,
you may lose, but you avenge yourself. Like, regardless of how difficult it seems or unlikely the odds, you come back and you redeem yourself. Like, for Ali to lose to Joe Frazier the way he did, and then George Foreman beat Joe Frazier the way he did, and then Ali gets to fight, and everyone's like, there's no way Ali can win, and he withstands that punishment and he wins. Ali also avenged his losses. Like, even Lennox Lewis was sparked out by Hakeem Rahman, created a star with Hakeem Rahman, and then he came back immediately and got his revenge. Like, to me, when you can turn a tide like that, that's a testament to your greatness. And Katie, the jab dominated her the first fight. She was able to get her head off the line. She had better head movement. Hey, Katie Taylor's head movement is honestly the best Katie Taylor head movement I've seen. Katie Taylor was willing to mix it up. In that fight, Katie Taylor showed how much boxing means to her. We were talking about her being on the tail end. And I remember saying this, and people thought I was crazy prior to the fight with Amanda Serrano. I said, she seems like she's regressing to me. Not last night. She looked like she found the love again. She looked like she was hungry. She looked great. She looked fast. She looked powerful. She did fade. She did fade late. And Chantelle Cameron was coming on strong. But, that, like Ned said, there's no such thing as the perfect fighter. Everybody has their issues. But what I saw from Katie Taylor was absolutely, I don't want to overstate it like Eddie Hearn was doing and say like it was the greatest thing I ever seen. But it was inspiring. And it was inspirational to see someone like Katie, who's been at the height and at the pinnacle of her sport, and lose and then come back better. To me, like, think about that. To come back better at the tail end of her career, to come back like, I will submit my legacy. I will not go out like this. And now the trilogy is just icing on the cake. I look forward to the trilogy, but Katie Taylor cemented herself. Some people think she's the greatest. To me, I've always said that's up for interpretation. The greatest to me is who inspires you. If you're a little girl in Ireland and you're looking at the sport of boxing and you want to be a boxer, Katie Taylor's going to be the GOAT for you. If you're a little girl from the United States of America, who Clarissa may be the GOAT to you. I think people get caught up in things and trying to force everyone to see the GOAT, their GOAT, your GOAT. Yo, this boxer, who inspired you, that's going to be your GOAT. But kudos to her. I thought she did a great job, and I thought she won, and I look forward to seeing.
Hold on, y'all. All that, everything you said was cute, but you ain't gonna talk about her dirty fight tactics. Like, come on, son, that headbutt was violations, yo.
I will admit this.
The rope. She literally said, "Whoop, bang." I was like,
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, that headbutt was crazy.
Son.
That headbutt was crazy. It's like she like got on the ropes. That was Timothy Bradley level.
Yo, I ain't gonna front. Even Timothy was impressed, bro.
Yo,
Oh.
she did get away with a lot. She got away with holding. She got away with the headbutt. But again, I will say this. You said the fight shouldn't be in Ireland, the rematch. Maybe not. At the end of the day, it's women's boxing. You got to go where the tickets are going to sell. You look at like the WNBA and women's athletics, it doesn't always sell in America. The UK, they're supportive of me, so I'm sure they could do it over in the UK. But if it's going to sell in Ireland, then why not do it in Ireland? I think when it comes to Chantelle Cameron, she really has to look in the mirror. I think I can't remember. I think the moment played a role in her performance as much as Katie Taylor did. I just think she was overwhelmed by the moment. A few things didn't go her way, and she started to worry about a bunch of things she couldn't control. She just needs to focus on Katie, the task at hand. I think she needs to go back to the drawing board and prepare for Katie, who's more willing to exchange. I think that surprised her too. I don't think she thought Katie was going to be as strong and willing to exchange, but that's what makes the trilogy interesting, But yeah, Katie. I mean, I'm not going to be like Katie was intentionally dirty. I think she did what she had to do, and I think Chantelle now has to go back to the drawing board and be prepared for it in the trilogy. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Remember, you can listen to our podcast on all major streaming services. Listen, man, the like button really is important. And the dislike button for that matter. I know, some of you probably was listening to G talk that trash about Katie Taylor. And if you want to hurt G's feelings, hit that like button and he's going to be really sad hit the like or the dislike button. If you didn't like what G had to say, hit the dislike button. But if you like what I had to say, hit the like button. We are the Boxing Bros.